Welcome to All Gold Everything, a podcast for people with taste.
Yeah.
I'm Heidi.
I'm Sandy.
And tonight we have a special co-host.
This is OuiBey.
OuiBey, Sandy's new puppy, Weebs. What a cutie. All right, OuiBey, we're counting on you to make us stars.
OuiBey, make me a star.
No pressure.
Make mommy a star and you smile for the camera.
So we were on hiatus for a minute. Last week we were off.
We were off.
You missed us.
Or maybe you didn't miss us.
No, you did. You missed us. We were in hiatus. Sandy was in Rhode Island for a weekend. How was it?
It was so much fun. It really was a blast. I love Rhode Island. I love Providence. I love shopping in Boston.
Yes. Tell me about it.
So there's this street in Boston, Newberry Street.
Yes.
It has all the shops.
Everything you could ever dream of.
All the shops that you want. I mean, I hate to say this, and this is going to show how high class I am. I liked shopping there more than I liked Paris, what Paris had to offer for shopping.
Wow.
It had all the shops. It had the designer shops.
Yeah.
It had the mid shops. It had the low end shops. Like by mid, I mean like Alice and Olivia.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then it had, your H&M and your Zara.
Yep.
Which we don't have Zara yet here, but we will. And you guys all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it had a tracksmith shop. It had the one tracksmith shop, and everybody.
I don't know what a tracksmith shop is. I feel like left to my own devices, I think that might be golf.
No,
it can't be.
That would be greensmith.
Oh, okay.
This is tracksmith. So it's a running shop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but when Joey bought me just a couple things from Tracksmith over the course of our dating history, and they've come to be my favorite running gear. They're just
nice.
Comfortable, like good tech gear, not bad tech gear, like doesn't hold the stink. It's just really comfortable and easy to run in. So mostly it's a pair of running shorts that I have. They're my favorite running shorts. And they don't have any, I think this shop in Boston might be their only one. Mm-hmm. The street is also on the Boston Marathon course.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so it had just a ton of like marathon memorabilia. It had this whole like sitting lounge where you could just sit and talk shop tell marathon stories.
Whoa. You have a few.
It was
our listeners have heard your marathon stories.
They've heard the best one.
The best one.
Yeah, I do have another one that isn't good in I poop my pants way, but a good in I just started dating Joey way, and he met me at the finish line, and it was my fastest marathon ever.
Yes, superstar.
Yeah, but so I bought Joey a shirt for like a souvenir at Tracksmith, and I was able to pick up. Do you have the hiccups?
Oh my God, OuiBey has the hiccups. This will definitely go viral.
Yes. Okay, you got a hiccup for the camera, boo.
He just pushed his face in the microphone. Sandy sent a couple of pictures. I feel like we need to go ahead and show our listeners that are listening to us on YouTube. We have a couple pictures of this little OuiBey. One of them is with his tongue out. It's like the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was like laying, just being a dingo.
He was just being a dingo.
Yeah, and then he's not a dingo.
But he's not actually a dingo dog.
No,
because dingoes are like they're like feral dogs or something.
They're like Australian coyotes.
Yeah, the only thing I know about the dingo is like the dingo ate my baby from the coyote right?
The dingo, in fact, did not eat her baby.
No,
no, the dingo did eat her baby. The dingo did eat her baby.
Yeah, okay, good.
But she went to jail for killing her baby until it was discovered that the dingo really did eat her baby.
That's interesting because I was flying this weekend myself. I was in Denver and I was flying home and I listened to My Favorite Murder just to like listen to something. And they were talking about, they were revealing Halloween candy hoaxes.
Yes.
That's
so similar, right?
Right, because everyone's always worried about like razor blades in candy and whatever. And it turned out that every single hoax that has ever been reported, I think every single hoax that has been reported, the razor blades in the candy or the cyanide in the pixie sticks was put there by a relative, a parent. Yes.
I'm like, trust me. I know how one might be motivated to murder your offspring.
So OuiBey is a little high maintenance at the moment. He's only 8 weeks old.
He's 10 weeks old.
10 weeks old, excuse me.
Yeah.
So he requires being out all the time. Mom.
Yeah.
Mom.
Well, I mean, no, but he naps. So he actually, he's so cute. He sleeps a lot like a baby does. But when he's up. And because he doesn't know what the fuck to do with himself, he's either just crying or peeing.
Oh my God.
And
that is like a baby.
Yeah, I'm underselling him. He plays too, and it's super cute when he plays. But you're constantly just like managing him when he's awake because, he's not fully house trained yet.
Love that.
That's why I have
you have a jacket on your lap?
A jacket down on my lap. I don't think he'll pee in my lap, and he knows to go outside. I just think sometimes his little bladder's not there yet.
Yeah.
But
he's only a baby. Oh, he's so tiny.
He's just a baby.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so cute. He's a good boy. He has tears from crying because this is so stressful for him. Okay, PETA,
don't be mad. No, don't say that. I don't want PETA to come after us at all.
I mean, he actually really does love me. He just doesn't know who I am because of the beachy waves.
The beachy waves.
He doesn't know yet.
Sandy, your hair is so dialed tonight that I was telling you before the show started, I feel like you need to have a YouTube channel on beachy waves. Now, that is a highly competitive market. Your beachy waves are really up there with the best of them, I feel like.
Well, thank you. But I actually learned how to do beachy waves from a YouTube channel. So if I remembered who this cute woman was who taught me, I would plug her right now, but I don't remember. But I learned on YouTube, and it's actually really freaking easy.
Yeah. I'm not there yet. I can only get the little flip going, but I'm hoping for beachy waves someday. But I haven't been willing to watch any videos. I'm like one of those people where I can hear over and over again the instruction, like, oh, watch a video on how to do this. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I just want to know how to do. I don't want to have to like take any time to learn how to do it. I just want to know how to do it.
Yeah.
I want to know by like osmosis or something.
Well, and like especially with hair and makeup, it just takes practice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've never watched a video about how to do my hair, but I was getting married and I wanted to look decent. So
you looked amazing.
So I actually like made a point to not just watch the video, but actually practice
it
multiple times before the wedding day. So now
the day of.
Yeah. So I call these my econo beachy waves.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't really like use all the product because
you didn't do the whole 9 yards on it.
I did not do the whole 9 yards.
Well, because you weren't getting married today.
Not getting married. I mean,
our YouTube viewers don't get the same treatment as
baby's YouTube debut is a big deal, but I didn't want to steal his shine.
That's right. If you're only listening to us on audio, now you're going to have to go watch us on YouTube on the All Gold Pod, All Gold Pod channel on YouTube. No, sorry. It's All Gold Everything Podcast.
Yeah.
That's what you Google on YouTube to find it. And that way you'll be able to see the cutest Mr. Cutie OuiBey I've ever seen. He's so adorable. And you'll get to see Sandy's beachy waves.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
You won't regret it, this guy. He's such a cutie.
He
and
is.
I even wore a white shirt so he wouldn't disappear into me.
I feel like that would be something if you were wearing black right now. You'd have the black backdrop, then you'd have the black shirt on, and you'd have he's black and brown. He would definitely blend right in. Well, I was in Denver this weekend because I went to go see my niece who turned 3, and her name is Isla. And I think the most adorable thing, there are so many adorable things about her, but one of my favorite, most adorable things about her is that she thinks that I live in Portland, Organization.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. So she said, "Are you coming from Portland, Organization? Are we going to go back to?" It's just the cutest thing I've ever heard. I'm obsessed with it. The other thing is that she loves sparkling water.
Oh, that's a bougie bitch.
She's
God damn.
She is drinking LaCroix after LaCroix. My brother said that he was worried. He was glad that she just got a clean bill of health at the dentist because he was worried about the acid from the sparkling water on her teeth because she will insist on drinking sparkling water. She just turned
bougie.
3. It is. So she's into the sparkling water. It's adorable. I love it.
It's yummy. I can't blame you.
I know.
I'm going to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sweet.
Key lime is her favorite flavor. Key lime LaCroix.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't know if that's in line because I know it doesn't have the sugar, but like seriously these days, if somebody sees you with a kid drinking a soda, like they will call Child Protective Services. So I would just tell them to be careful because there's like some serious parenting policers out there.
Parenting policers. Well, anyway, and the other thing that I did while I was there, which was kind of interesting because, you know, some of our listeners know that I recently left my day job and I'm like kind of shifting my gear. I'm not kind of shifting gears. I'm shifting gears into all these creative pursuits, continuing to work on the podcast, writing my book, doing some stuff for HeidiB Coaching. You can go check that out at HeidiBcoaching.com. Check it out.
Let Heidi fix your life. Please, thank you.
Please. And so one of the things I did while I was in Denver is I kind of gave all of this is in the ultimate goal is to be location independent in like 10 years. To be able to work from anywhere, go somewhere great, like do a little bit of like, you know, internet. Oh my God, I sound like I'm 100. Do a little bit of internet work during the day or whatever.
Just hop on the World Wide Web.
Hop on the World Wide Web, do a little bit of clicking here and there, and then, or make a call or whatever, and then be able to do whatever I want, wherever I want. So I went to Denver to give it kind of a dry run to see, is it possible for me to be disciplined enough to go to a place that's somewhere different that I like being and spend some time with my family and then also like make the space to like make some content for my book. And the good news is it worked.
Yay!
Yay! I wrote about 7,000 words while I was there, so that was fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really good. And it helped me hit my milestone, my first major milestone on my book, which is at 30,000 words this week.
That is a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words. Good job.
Thank you. And they make sense. They
It's
go
not-
together.
It's not all the same word, is it?
It is not all the same word.
Because if it were my 30,000 words, it'd be fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck,
Shit, fuck, sandwich.
Stack.
Oh my God, shit, fuck, sandwich stack. No, just shit, fuck.
Whatever. There, I could throw a sandwich in there.
No, shit, fuck,
I'm
stack.
just saying that that's like a big deal because if it were my 30,000 words, I'm just saying good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
I'm feeling really accomplished about it, very excited about it. So those are some kind of milestones I had this week. The other thing that I wanted to put out there, I'm mad at a TV show for the first time in a minute.
I can't wait to hear. It's not 90 Day Fiancé, is it?
No, it's not. This is like actually very basic. This is like shows. I watch Modern Family with my family. We watch Modern Family like all the time.
Is that still a thing?
It's still on. It's in
okay.
like its 9th season or something. It's been on forever. And this season they've been teasing all season. It's only like 4 episodes in or whatever, but they've been teasing for months now that they're going to kill off a major character. So I'm like, oh my God, who are they going to kill off? And it's been actually hampering my enjoyment of the show.
I hope it's that teenage daughter. I never liked her.
Which one? The one that was the smarty one?
No,
the other one.
Yeah.
There's only 2 that are like
the
really
older teenage daughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought so too because she actually has a kidney issue. Like she needed a kidney transplant or something
like
in real life. Yeah, and so I thought that they might write her off, and I was like, kind of like, oh, maybe they would do that. But it turns out that and so it has hampered my enjoyment of the show because every time I watch it, I'm like on the edge of my seat. Who's gonna die? When am I gonna be devastated? What's gonna happen? Well, I saw the spoiler is out there, so I think by the time our episode's live next week, it won't really be a spoiler. So now I know who it is.
Is it the puppy, like their dog or something?
It's kind of in that same vein. It's the mom who is played by the fabulous, her name's going to escape me right now, Shelley Long.
Oh, okay.
But she plays...
so the ex-wife of the guy who played Al Bundy?
Yes.
Okay.
His ex-wife. She's on maybe once a season. She's hardly a major character.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of pissed off about the whole thing. Like,
yeah, that's bait and switch.
Yeah, bait and switch. So I don't know if I'll be able to watch the rest of the series, actually. I might abandon it altogether because I'm really that mad about it.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing. I don't know what to say except
it's okay.
Support. Like I'm here with your anger. I mean, I'm not feeling your anger, but I would maybe be feeling. But like, who did you want to die?
I don't know, but I mean, I just felt like if they're gonna say a major character, like one of the kids. Actually, at first
it's
I
not
thought
that kind of show, though.
I know. At first, I thought they might kill off one of the kids because I thought like, oh, it'll be a great PSA opportunity. Like maybe one of the kids dies of an opiate overdose or something because, like, it's an epidemic and whatever. Or like I thought maybe one of the adult characters that's a mainstay on the show that's not the old guy.
See, I think that he's the one. It would have to be Al Bundy.
Yeah. That's kind of what I thought too. And I thought, oh, that's kind of like a no-brainer. So anyway, they made it his ex-wife. And so what a letdown. Anyway.
But like network shows aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
They just won't anymore. I mean, even Ozark, which is supposed to be like, I call Ozark, it's on Netflix. I call it Breaking Bad Light.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's gritty, but it's not like that, like, I don't know, that stuff that gets your heart rate up.
I feel like nothing will be like watching Breaking Bad the first time.
Yeah. So Ozark is like Breaking Bad Light, but they won't even like kill off a main character. It's always a periphery. It's always kind of like a little bit of a letdown, but for me, like I like it. Like I'm like, okay, I can watch Ozark because I know that you're not going to pull the rug out from under me, fucking motherfuckers. So I watched on the plane Go In Flight on Alaska.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alaska.
I watched 2 things. I watched Isle of the Dogs.
Oh my God.
Wes Anderson.
I want to see it.
Oh, you need to see it. It was everything. And it's like that's what do they call it? Stop something animation.
Stop motion animation.
Yeah. So it took them apparently a really long time to make, but it's so good. It's so well done and it's funny.
Jeff and I need to see that.
Oh, you need to see it. I mean, there's one point where they talk about like the one of the reoccurring conversations is I heard a rumor. Oh
my God.
I heard a rumor.
I have something on rumor. I'll put it back there on
because I want to talk about rumor and gossip too because I'm also reading a really incredible book called Sapien by Yuval Harari.
Okay.
Where he talks about we'll talk about it later because it's just a nice take on gossip and then it comes after all they're like the dogs are like we're stuck on a trash island. Who are you hearing all these rumors from? So it was just like the humor in it was so good. And the dogs, the little dog characters were great. And the little boy who came to rescue his dog was just like the best. He was a little man boy.
So cute.
But the other thing I watched was I watched the first 3 episodes of Empire.
Oh yeah, I watched that about this time 2 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm here for it. And then I don't know what happened. Oh, I moved. Jeff and I moved in together. And I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
Because it was like my last
it's
days
embarrassing.
of...
I can't watch that shit in front of you. I was on the plane, like, moving my iPad. I'm like, I don't want people to see that I'm, like, what, when, like, you know.
It's good single girl. I mean, that's probably why I stopped watching it, because I don't think Jeff would watch it, and I don't spend that much time watching TV without him, and so we just don't watch it.
I mean, it's like, it's kind of like Low Rent. It's super cheesy. Like in the way that This Is Us is cheesy, it's cheesy. It's just a different setting.
Yeah.
But freaking Taraji,
yes,
she rises above that whole cast.
She does.
Cookie is my fucking spirit animal.
She is.
You know, So
maybe that'll be next week's intro, a podcast for people who are Cookie.
Yeah, a podcast for Cookie.
A podcast for Cookie.
We just blew it. Shoot.
Oh man, can we put that in for this week's episode?
Yeah. Well, but yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about the television.
Well, I want to talk about rumors because I heard a rumor. Actually, okay, so recently we have been talking a lot about Kim K and Kanye.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I swear to
God. I watched
God.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians for the first time in my life, too, while I was in Providence.
You did? Yes, Sandy. Living your best life.
I know. It was old ones when Lamar was in the hospital.
Oh.
And it was Chris's 60th birthday.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. I
it's
just had to, like...
The nature
I had to
of the
qualify.
podcast
I had to
is the
qualify.
back and forth.
Yeah, I had to qualify. I watched
I
watched the KW2K.
KWT.
I just had a stroke trying to come up. I watched it.
I know, seriously. Could you come up with any kind of better acronym than this? I don't actually watch it. I have seen it before, but I don't watch it as regularly as you would think I watch it for how much I talk about them. I might need to, now that I'm unemployed, maybe I'll add that to my, like, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll like burst my creativity or something. Okay, so I swear to you that last week, right before our normal podcast, which we didn't do, I saw 2 articles that said that Kim K is leaving Kanye.
Oh, I haven't.
But I haven't seen them since. And I didn't
watch that. They were just Kris Jenner. She just stepped in. She's like,
they say the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder.
Well, she just pulled one out.
So I am just saying, I saw those 2 articles. I know I saw them, and I didn't click on them because I thought, like, clickbait, whatever. And we weren't coming into podcast anyway. And I'm like, oh, I'll just find them next week. So tonight before the show, I'm like looking for them, and I can't find them anywhere. I can find all kinds of stuff that says Kanye thought Kim was going to leave him after he made all those remarks, like that, the craziness about slavery being whatever. Being a choice, as he said, or whatever. And he was afraid she was going to leave him after that. But nothing about this new round of rumors. So I'm just saying, you heard it here first on All Gold Everything. I think that before Valentine's Day, Kim K will be leaving Kanye West.
Okay, let me see. Let me get in contact with my...
And this, my friends, is how rumors start.
Okay. I just don't see it happening. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know Kiki that well.
I mean, I don't either.
I don't know Kiki that well, but I do know that my daughter, Kyla, she has probably watched every episode of and I feel like she has given me a picture of Kim K as far as like the family aspect. Apparently, they have a pretty strong family. Yeah,
well, the Kardashians are like a unit,
right?
Yeah, they have. But I think it would be hard to get. It would be hard to be attached to them via marriage.
I just hope. Okay, I guess what I'm gonna say. I hope. This is what I hope happens. He's sick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any of this shit is cute. I don't think any of this shit is funny. I think it's exploitation of a sick person.
Yeah.
And so that's why I won't talk about the things he's saying. But I want them to take care of their sick family member.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really hoping that they will do. And then maybe they're doing it. I don't know.
Well, what I think is interesting is that if it were any of them, the biological family, I think they would, right? Because the son, Rob, like went through a real roller coaster of bipolar, I think either bipolar or severe depression. He gained like 150 pounds.
Married Black China. That was weird.
That was weird. But like they have never been particularly supportive of the spouses of the people who are family by marriage or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's because they're always just like looking out for their own.
Yeah. I mean, it did seem like Khloe ran to Lamar's side and they were already broken up and she was dating somebody else and she was at his hospital bed every day.
Yeah.
And he was like sick in a different way.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I do think that Khloe loved Lamar. Odom.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't think that Kiki loves Kanye?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's sad.
I don't think so.
I love Kanye. I love Kanye. I think he's talented, and I think he's really smart, and I think he's sick, and I think that there's medications, and I think he can be well. I think it's so easy. I think all it takes is people who love him to step in and care for him.
Yeah.
And he could be well, and he could keep doing, keep just showing us his brain.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of good stuff in there.
They keep shining.
Yeah.
So what did you have about rumors? You read something recently about rumors and...
So in addition to watching Isle of Dogs and the first 3 episodes of Empire on the plane, I read about... I'm about halfway... Fucking Cookie. This is so funny. Cookie's my spirit animal, and then I transitioned to I read *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari.
I kind of feel like we should get some faux fur jackets to just like channel Cookies someday.
I know, right?
Yeah. We'll put that on our rider for next week's show.
Yeah.
DC's
Who did I tell?
Faux furs.
I told a friend, I was like, Cookie's my spirit animal, and she's like, and she said, no, I like Cardi B better, and I'm like, well, Cardi B just looks better because it's a whole damn generation later. I think this was like 2000.
This is like, it was 2014 because it was right before I bought my house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's just like a few years have passed and, there's better wigs.
Yeah.
So that's why Cardi B looks better. But Cookie's everything. And the way that she plays that character is off the chain. She really levels that whole show up. And whoever wrote her character, I wonder, anyway, go Cookie. But so *Sapien* by Yuval Noah Harari.
Okay.
It's a really good book, a really good story about basically the history of humans on the planet. Ooh. And he talks about basically how biology and history kind of how they're so related and so interlocked. And it's like it kind of it gives such new insight into this idea about how we think, well, we go to school, we have to learn history because we don't want to repeat history, but how as humans and our biology and our evolution and our, development and growth, like we can't help it. Like we're fucking dumb. No, he does not say this in his book. This is my read.
Paraphrasing.
This is my editorial. It's like we're fucking stupid humans. We are animals.
Yeah.
But it's just really it's really good. It's really insightful, and he tells it in a story way. It's not like reading a textbook. Like I read Guns, Germs, and Steel back in the day, which was also
hard. That was hard to get through.
It was very interesting, but it was very texty.
Yes, it was like a textbook. And I tried to read Jared Diamond's other book, and now I can't even remember. It's Collapse, maybe. That was what it was called. And I can't even remember really the context of the subject matter because it was like so like wah, 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 wah. Now let me ask you about this book, *Sapiens*. Are you listening to it on Audible or are you actually reading it?
I'm reading it.
I just got an Audible subscription for my birthday in July, and I have a new credit, so I'm going to see if I can get it on Audible.
Yeah. I think it would be a good listen. So that's what I was going to say. It's not texty. He tells it like a story. There's humor.
Yeah.
It's cute humor, you know, and it's just a really good, easy read.
Oh, I love it.
About, a subject that's a little bit more...
can be dry.
Yeah, it's not dry. It's super interesting, but it's just a little bit more up here than in here.
Cerebral.
Yeah. Yeah, but it kind of like the reason I relate to it so hard is because this is like what I talk about whenever I talk about like relationships and relationship with self and it's like I always go back to like we are just humans. Like just understand that there is a part of you that's an animal. Yeah. And so when you try to be perfect and you try to do everything right and you think that you can somehow supersede your humanness, you can't.
There's no point.
Yeah, right.
There's no point.
So give yourself a fucking break.
Yeah.
I
love that.
You were descended from apes.
Yeah.
Not puppies.
I was going to say, your puppy is killing it right now. He is just slaying over there. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Mark just came up and adjusted the camera and he's like.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about that, though, you also said that you listened to a Rich Roll podcast today that had somebody talking about their humanness. Was this the same guy?
Yeah,
the author?
I flip on Rich Roll. I flip on my Insta.
How aligned is your life
flipping
today?
Insta, and I'm like, no way, he's interviewing him on his podcast.
Oh my God.
So I only got halfway through that podcast, and it was just, I think he's making the rounds because he has a new book out called, it's like 12 lessons. 21 lessons for the 21st century.
Oh,
and
interesting.
It's sort of like talking about that. And he talks a lot about AI and sort of like the ethical considerations around like AI and technology.
Right.
And in *Sapiens*, he goes into like the, basically the agricultural and industrial revolution, and talks about sort of how in hindsight we didn't understand that the hunter-gatherers really had it a lot better than when people started farming. People started farming and people started working their asses off 10, 12 hours a day.
Right.
And he talks about all the ways in which it kind of actually made for a worse life than they had before when they were just nomadic hunter-gatherers.
Getting what they need.
Yeah, he does put this spin on this sort of cautionary tale on the future and just using that as
I'm
an
stoked.
example.
I want to read this. That sounds good.
Yeah, I'll give it to you when I'm finished.
Book reviews by Sandy on AGE. I mean, that's going to be a segment. That's awesome. I love that so much.
Well, I read one book a year because I'm really fucking busy and it takes a trip. I have to be on a plane.
Well, I have to say Audible has helped me with that. I don't really want to plug them because they're not my favorite platform. They're kind of, for as ubiquitous as it is and as many commercials as you hear for them and whatever, it's kind of challenging to actually use because you cannot buy books from Audible on their app.
Oh, right.
You have to go to Amazon.com/Audible to buy or download or use your credit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
We did it on a road trip that we went on, and it was pretty easy. We listened to we listened to with Skylar Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh my God, that
book! Audible on a road trip. We
read that book in the 4th grade. Everyone in Iowa or something reads that book in the 4th grade, and I was scarred. I mean, not scarred for life, but I remember it was the first book that I really was just bawling at the end of it. And then we had to watch the movie, and I didn't want to watch the movie because I knew how sad it was going to make me. Oh my God. That one is tough. Well, I want to shift gears a little bit because I saw this story today that came out of Fresno, California, that this guy, it is the season, it's Halloween, it's spooky, whatever, it's fall, and apparently this guy in Fresno, California found some spiders in his house, and he set his house ablaze, caused a 2-alarm fire that required a 29 firefighter response because he was using a blowtorch to kill the spiders in his house.
I feel like Cookie would do that. I think Cookie would do that.
I feel like that's definitely a Cookie move. I mean, I could almost also see this being like an incident. Like if I were doing this in my life, I feel like this would be a lighter and hairspray move, or whatever. I just have to say that, have you ever, first of all, are there any insects or creatures that would cause you to set your house on fire by accident? I don't think so. You're
no, but I broke my heart. I broke my own heart once. I was a new homeowner with in my Vista house with Kyla, and there was a spider. This was so big. I couldn't get near it. It was so big I was too afraid to get near it. I mean, and it was an unusually large spider with a real fat body. So when you run through your mind about how are you going to get this to get it outside? Because that's my preferred method of getting rid of spiders.
Put a paper under it or whatever, take it outside. Yeah.
But this thing was so big that it
OuiBey's licking the microphone. So
it was like when you what I think I would do if I were going to try to jump out of a plane, I'd get to the tippy top and I just couldn't do it. You'd have to push me. I don't think I'd be able to make myself jump. That's how it was with the spider. It was just too big, everything inside me. So I did the worst thing in the world. And
what'd you do?
I found when I moved in, there were a bunch of chemicals left in my basement, and I found a spray. It was the most heartbreaking thing.
Yeah.
The way that I murdered the spider. PETA, you're going to hate me tonight.
This is an episode PETA should not watch.
I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
Sandy's vegan now. That day.
She's never killed a spider since.
Awful.
Yeah.
That thing died a terrible death, and I will never do it again. So no, I won't set anything on fire. I'll call an exterminator, and I'll just ask them what the best way to do it is.
Well, I almost blew my house up this week.
That's scary.
I was cooking a pear tart, a vegan pear tart, which I was really excited about. And I turned the burner on this. We have a gas stove. I thought I turned the burner on. I turned the burner on. I was also on the phone with a girlfriend. I cooked the tart or whatever. I went out in the living room. I did something else. And then I went to yoga. And then 5 hours later, I came home and I opened the front door and the entire house reeked of gas. The back burner had never actually lit. And so actually Jeff's dad was visiting. He walked in the door at the same time and was like, oh, it smells bad in here. And then Jeff came home 2 minutes later and was like, everyone get out of the house. So we all exited out the back, opened all the doors, turned all the fans on, the ceiling fans. But anyway, I did not blow my house up, but my entire house basically filled with natural gas for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that my back burner hadn't lit. So I didn't set my house ablaze trying to kill something. But I did almost blow up my house.
Okay. I'm glad that your house survived. I'm really glad Henri survived. I bet he had a little headache.
He might have.
But what was I going to say? I was going to say something about that. Shoot. Oh, that the guy with the setting his house on fire because of spiders. Was there evidence that the spiders actually existed? Because this actually sounds more like a cuckoo.
I don't know. I will tell you that I found the story on Snopes, so I feel like it is verified that this event actually happened.
Is that the deal with Snopes?
Yeah.
This is what I think of Snopes.
Oh my gosh, really? They verify all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm on it now. Now I'm pulling it up to see.
Don't you know Breitbart does that too?
This says there's no words on what happened to the spiders, but Fresno firefighters tweeted, "Please don't use a blowtorch to kill spiders."
Right. So there's no evidence that there were spiders.
Okay, that's a very good point.
Did they find some Seroquel and Zyprexa and Haldol in the guys?
I have no idea.
No, the reason I say that is because I lived in many apartments in my youth. And I remember I lived in one apartment and we were up one night and we couldn't sleep because there was like this sound of like screaming and cursing and just like splitting wood in the apartment. Some guy like went off his meds and just took an axe to his apartment like while we slept.
Or no, didn't sleep.
It was a woman. I'm sorry. That was totally rude. It was a woman. She did it. And it was just she just had some psychosis because
a touch of psychosis. It happens.
And that's what this actually sounds like to me. Spiders up.
Anyway. I bet you're right.
I know.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that I wanted to talk about this rapper that died doing a stunt on a plane in Canada.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
What's his name?
His name is Jon James McMurray. And that's actually my first beef with the whole story because his name's R.I.P. Jon James McMurray.
But he should be JJ. I mean, for real. If he's going to be a rapper, he should be JJ.
I agree that he should be JJ. And his rap name is just Jon James. I mean,
Mac Miller.
Could you level? I just want to level up a little bit. I would like DJ JJ, something better than not thrilled.
That's so 1992 though. I mean,
the 90s are back in a very real way.
That's true.
So that's my first problem is that I feel like this guy's rapper name is like just really not bringing it with any kind of creativity.
Right.
Okay. And then the second thing is what he was going to do is he was going to go walk out on the wing of a plane and like do this rap or whatever and like Instagram it or like selfie it on the wing of a plane, which we talk almost every week about how dangerous selfie photography.
Just being an Instagram model, I guess. taking
being a hooker light, taking selfies, doing it out on the wing of an airplane.
Yes.
So apparently his representation said he had practiced really, really hard and long and like done a lot of training hours, which I don't know, like what does that mean exactly? Like stand in a wind tunnel? I have no idea.
How many wings of planes has he actually been on?
Or like maybe
survived.
He stood on the wing on a grounded plane or something. I don't know. But apparently he put in a lot of training hours to prepare himself to do this stunt. So anyway, they get up in the air, they're on the plane, he walks out on the wing, and then actually the pilot loses control of the plane. So problem is, so then they go into a nosedive because the pilot lost control of the plane. So then DJ Jon James McMurray is hanging onto the plane for dear life, decides to let go. At the last minute, it's too late for him to let go. By the time he decides to let go, what I mean by that is by the time he decides to let go, they're too close to the ground and his parachute doesn't open in time.
So he had a parachute on, so they
dies
took
on
precautions.
Impact. They did. But once he let go, the pilot regained control of the plane and landed it safely.
Oh, man.
And nobody else was hurt. So
do you know how many movies and cartoons that shit has actually happened on? I mean,
you're right. That's like exactly like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah, or just all the movies where somebody's out on the wing of the plane,
like an old school Mickey.
Yeah,
which I was watching something the other day that like old school Mickey, like really old Mickey from the 30s,
is
terrifying, and he's like a real jerk. And then in the 1950s, he becomes like this sweet little mouse who's like super nice. But in the 30s, he's like whacking people and like dive bombing planes, like all kinds of like jerk stuff, and it's terrifying. So combination of those two things. Anyway, so I guess the moral of the story is don't be a hooker light. Be careful if you're an Instagram model. Use caution around planes.
Yeah. I guess that's the moral of the story.
I don't know. I don't have much more than that.
Well, I just realized that like we were talking about gossip and we brought up this book I'm reading and I never talked about the lesson about gossip I learned.
Please lay it on me. I need to know.
No, this is important.
Yeah.
Because this is what makes our podcast like so important.
So important.
It's so important.
There's real shit.
OuiBey, tell them how important it is.
Oh, God.
So basically, humans have been credited with being like this, like alpha species.
Okay.
We actually did share the planet with other of the Homo genus.
Right.
Like Homo erectus.
Right.
And
Homo sapiens were the one that
that just kind
natural
of
selected.
That murdered.
Yeah.
That murdered all of them. No.
Yeah.
The book doesn't say that we murdered all of them. But it does
did,
postulate
right?
that perhaps we did.
Yeah.
But what set this genus above the rest was we always think it was our big brains, right? But like the Homo erectus and the other the other homos. They had huge brains too.
Yeah.
And but what we had was and it wasn't that we had opposable thumbs, because we had opposable thumbs and we were able to make weapons for a long time, thousands and thousands of years. And so what was different about us, and it was our speech and our language.
Oh, sure.
And specifically about what allowed us to kind of cooperate and form, civilizations greater than bands of 150 people was our ability to gossip. Gossip specifically. And he makes a case for how it is really important for us to know who everybody is, who we can trust, and even to
biologically, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, even to the point of who so-and-so is sleeping with, what if so-and-so stole something, full on gossip. And he kind of just makes the case of how important it is for us to work with people. And humans, by the way, are naturally, we are grievous assholes. We treat other people terribly. Ooh. in these smaller human tribes, the weakest would be left behind and yada yada. I could go on.
I don't think I could do that. It might be me they left behind.
You'd be left behind. I'd be at the front of the fucking pack. I'll tell you what.
With your faux fur coat on and your cookie lifestyle happening. I like it.
Yeah. But it's just great because that in itself, we're so fucking high and mighty and righteous about gossip.
Yeah.
But it is our human nature. It is our human nature, and it is what allowed us, to grow in the way
that's fascinating. I gotta get my hands on this book. That sounds good. That sounds really good.
The dog is farting.
Oh my God, that's unfortunate. I can't smell it, so that's good.
He probably has to poop.
Oh, poor buddy. That reminds me, I also brought in a photo of my dog, so I'm going to make Mark put it on the screen for our YouTubers.
No, he didn't poop on me.
Oh, I'm glad that your dog didn't poop on you. My dog's name is Henry. He is currently on the screen right now. He is, I bought him last winter for Christmas. I bought him a matching dog bed and jacket. So
I thought you were just going to say I bought him. I'm like, no, PETA, no. She didn't buy him.
He's a rescue.
She adopted.
He's a rescue. We adopted him.
PETA.
But I bought him this jacket and bed that match, so he can be totally camouflaged in our house. He can just be like, oh, I blend in. Pay no attention to me. And I also bought my husband Jeff matching flannel as well. So the three of them can just all blend into one another.
I know you have a photo of your husband and Henry.
Yeah.
I wish
I would have brought that one. But anyway, this picture of Henry just being camouflaged as can be, and that is as close as he gets to a Halloween costume. Are you planning on dressing? Halloween's next week. Are you planning on dressing OuiBey up? No. I feel like PETA would be really mad at us if
I won't do that, PETA. Not gonna do it. Not gonna dress him up. He's not here for my pleasure or enjoyment. I'm here to be a steward.
That's right.
Of his life and joy and happiness.
That's right. I have one other thing that I want to talk about before we get to the main substance of our show tonight, which is talking about intuition, which is so important, especially around a creepy time of year of Halloween. But I also saw the last news story I saw that was interesting today was that Britney Spears' "Hit Me One More Time" music video is 20 years old. Some other things that are 20 years old include Google.
Oh my God.
I know. That is a weird one to me because, I feel like this is a no-brainer, but I feel like Google, I hardly remember a time before Google.
Yeah.
I do remember having to get onto Netscape to surf the web, but I still remember being able to search stuff with a search engine, although it wasn't Google. Because you could do that on Netscape, I think.
I remember dialing up AOL.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll have to tell my old woman story now. It's very quick. I was a senior in high school in my econ class, and my professor, my teacher said, you guys, you don't even know what's coming. It's called the information superhighway. Yes! And we were like, whoa. And he tried to explain to us what it was. And I remember him writing WWW on the board. And we're like,
whatever.
Can we go get high? Yeah. Can we go get high? Like, what is this? Yeah.
Actually, you probably were like, are you high?
Yeah. Right.
What was your first internet scream name? Your first AOL name?
It's the same one I have right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's why everyone's like, you're a James Bond fan. And I'm like, no, it was like assigned to me by AOL. It was an assigned scream name. I didn't even pick it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mine I did pick. Because at the time I was obsessed with the movie Chasing Amy.
Oh, I remember you told us this. It was like, yeah.
Because I felt like that was the noise of like a EDM music. Of rave music. Which I spelled UNNTZ218 was my, because I had to have a number after it. I'm sorry that your dog is stinking up that side of the studio. But he's behaving really well. So
maybe he was whining because his belly was a little full of gas.
Maybe. Pros and cons. The other thing that's 20 years old is Harry Potter.
No way.
Yeah. I haven't read any of. I am not a Harry. You are a Harry Potter fan. I am not I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I just never got around to it.
But I did read them to my 22-year-old child.
Yeah.
When she was a child. So I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
God.
I know.
And then the other thing that's 20 years old is the movie Titanic, which I'm like, well, who cares? But that was the Harry Potter and the Google were a little, and Britney Spears too, a little bit like,
whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. So our main topic for the evening tonight is intuitive thought. Mm-hmm. And
I'm having an intuitive thought that my dog has to poop.
Your intuition's really dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the reasons that this got put on my radar actually was because I was visiting family this weekend and one of my family members was having this intuitive thought about making a shift. And she was like, I just really wish I knew why I felt this way. I'd feel more comfortable making the shift if I knew why I felt this way. And I was just thinking, like, that's just intuition. Like, you don't have to have a reason. It's okay to trust that. Like, and so I think one of the interesting things about developing intuitive thought is kind of the second guessing of intuitive thought. And the learning to just trust yourself on all those things. I thought you might have really interesting, I know a couple of reasons why you would have an interesting perspective on intuitive thought. One of the reasons is that you're a mom.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is you work a spiritual program of recovery. So you're like, doing, you are seeking. So I wanted us to have a little chat about it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because with the motherhood thing is where my intuitive thought gets fucked up the most because I think that's the most fear and the most second guessing. And it's like, for some reason, the highest pressure. Like, we think we have to do it 100% right and that there's a right way and that there's a wrong way. So intuitive thought is really difficult in parenting
that is interesting that you say that because one of the things I said to the person who was making this consideration was, either way, whatever choice you make, everything's going to be fine. So it's really about like what will make you the most comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like where will you feel centered with the choice that you make, which I think is like about, is the way to kind of bring it back when you're spun out about intuitive thought and like, well, what about this or what about this? What about this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it totally goes back to knowing yourself. I mean, I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Everything goes back to knowing yourself, but it's like, if I know myself, I can then notice that 1, I'm spun out, 2, that I'm putting too much pressure on myself, 3, that whatever decision I make is not going to impact whether my daughter ends up like shooting heroin under a bridge, and that it is going to be okay. I'm not going to make a bad decision. I'm not going to make a neglectful or inappropriate decision. Totally. I'm going to make the best decision I can make for me right now.
Yeah.
And when I'm indecisive is when I know I need to get quiet and get with myself.
Yeah.
Because when I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Emphasis on scared. When I'm afraid is when I am like the most indecisive. And it just means I need to stop, reset, reboot. Really, it's chill the fuck out.
Yeah. That's hard for me because when I am feeling afraid, I get that frenzied energy and I want to feel not afraid. So I want to take some action and just do something. And so my impulsivity really is like, oh my God, I know that when I just like, I just want to do something that's exactly right. That's the cue to go, okay, wait a minute, do nothing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Do nothing. So I almost feel like, I feel like I have clarity these days and intuitive thought lives in my life because I'm willing to sit for a minute and go do nothing and then wait for the right answer to come instead of be like, fix it.
Yeah.
Well, not in all places. I'm getting better.
Yeah,
I'm getting
but
better
I
at
also
it.
have to say this: wait for the right answer to come. I think it also kind of lulls people into this sense that all of a sudden there's going to be this wild clarity.
True.
Which isn't true, because you may get clarity for a moment, but then the next moment you may get a different type of clarity. And so I do think also that you can't just sit and wait forever for like the floodgates to open. Then all of a sudden the universe reveals this is definitely the right thing to do. It's like, I think what it is it's small steps of just following your intuition. So when you get quiet and you're like, well, what's really right for me? And that might just be what's going to stress me out the least.
Yes.
Do you know how hard it is to get to do the thing that is just going to stress me out the least?
Yeah.
Because I think that whatever I have to do, I have to work harder, do more, make it work, do this. So I actually tend to choose the things that stress me out the most.
Yeah.
So when I go with a decision for the sole fact that like this is going to stress me out the least, that's when it's like bingo, you're onto something, you're doing it right.
You make a really good point about asking yourself, what's best for me? What will stress me out the least? Because honestly, you're right. What I end up doing too is making all kinds of stuff happen, starting to manage a bunch of stuff, but it's because I want something to either make someone else happy or to like, I want an outcome for someone else. So following intuition for me is, oh God, you're so good at crystallizing the concept of what we're talking about, which is like just being like, what's best for me?
Mm-hmm. And then for me, when I do make that decision, it feels weird. Like I'm making the decision that is just going to stress me out the least. So it immediately then my wheels start turning. It must be wrong. But then all of a sudden I feel the weight lifted.
Yeah.
And I do think that's a really important thing, because I think it's easier to make the more stressful decision. And I don't know why that is. But the other thing is, like, when you talk about intuitive thought and listening to my gut, it's my gut that's telling me what that less stressful, what's going to stress me out the least is, or whatever, the criteria may be, but it's my gut telling me that. And so it's not like I just wake up and I have the decision laid before me. It's really just getting down to like, how am I actually physically feeling when I think about what decision I'm going to make? Am I physically feeling like wound up in a ball and I got to make this work, or am I physically feeling like, well, I might, let this person down, I might do this, but for me, I'm going to be more in my in the lane that I'm more comfortable in. I'm going to be more comfortable. Yeah. And I think that like that getting to actually to the point where I can feel took a lot of time for me alone.
Yeah.
Like I had to get with myself alone. I had to spend time on trails alone. I had to spend time at home at night alone.
Yeah.
Until I could really get down to like, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? And I think also I have to give a plug for meditation on this, because the best way to practice knowing what's going on in my own body is to sit down and meditate. And that's and yoga, like we do the yoga and it's like, I can,
oh my God, we killed it at yoga today.
I know, but just like laying there and noticing, where do you feel the most stress? Where's the most stress? And now send your breath to that area of the most stress. It is exactly the same thing as what decision feels the most stress.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I think I really like that has given me a lot of freedom to kind of go with intuitive thought has been this concept of knowing that I can change my mind.
Oh, right.
Right? That even if I follow intuitive thought and it turns out to be wrong or bad or scary or uncomfortable, I can try something different. Like there really are not a lot of decisions in my life that I am like locked in forever on.
None. There's none.
I can't think of it. I mean, I said not really a lot, but I can't think of any, right?
No.
So it's like giving myself the freedom and the reminder of like, I am a grown-ass woman. I am always allowed to change my mind. And like that gives me so much freedom to go, okay, what feels right? What's the least stressful? What's the best decision for me? Because my gray area, my thing that gets challenging is that I start going, what's the best decision for you?
Right.
How can I make this easier for you guys? How can I save the day this way?
Yeah.
Whatever. And that is like danger, danger, right. Alarm bells go off, that I have to just kind of dial it all back. And honestly, I mean, even leaving my job was an exercise in this, because I really didn't want to put out my colleagues who I love. They were so great. I really didn't want to like upset my boss. I really didn't want to like rock the boat there. But it was like, what's best for me? Oh, what's best for me is to not work in this place anymore.
Right.
And then remembering like, like, but I can always change my mind. There's millions of other jobs. There's millions of other things to do, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But that gives me a lot of freedom to follow what I think is intuitive thought that I get through prayer, meditation, stillness, and then action,
Yeah. And I remember with your decision to leave your job, there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of indecision. And you got to this point of just like kind of spinning in one spot about it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it took to get you out of that, but for a while there, it was just like
I was asking everyone.
Yeah,
I really wanted.
Yeah, you wanted somebody to tell you what the right thing to do was. That was cute. Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing. It's like it's we're talking about your intuitive thought.
Yeah.
We're talking about what's right for you. And at some point, if it is just a big decision, you just have to take a leap.
You do.
And, it's like you're probably going to land okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't land okay or you don't like where you land and you gave it a good shot, change your mind.
Change your mind.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. People quit their jobs all the time. People go get new jobs all the time.
All the time.
People break up with their partners and find a new one all the time.
Yep. Totally.
People trade in their cars all the time.
People switch their kids in school all the time. There are all kinds of things.
Change their major.
Change their major.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Oh my God, I changed my major like 17 times. By the time I graduated college, I went to the bursar's office or whatever, and I was like, listen, these are all the classes I have. Please tell me there is some kind of major that you can cobble together with all these credits. So anyway, you can change your mind 100 times. I seriously, every year I was in college, I had a different major. Health information management.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting. I was like,
you could have been a millionaire.
I don't know. Actually, I did a clinic rotation or something in health information management where I had to go to go to some hospital and file stuff for them all day, and I never made it. I only had to go 9 times, right? Because it was once a week for the quarter, but it was early. It was a long drive. I was an alcoholic who was way deep in my shit, so I only made it to 4 of the 9 weeks, and my instructor or whatever was so nice. She was like, you really might want to reconsider this major. I'm not sure that this is the major for you.
Well, who is that the major for? Honestly, who is I just go to sleep dreaming about health information management. How can I just make a database for all this information? This spider web of information intrigues me to no end.
Maybe I could have been a millionaire. You're right. Data is power. But I was health information management. I was pre-med. I was.
I didn't know you were pre-med.
Till chemistry really kicked my ass, or biology. I was great at chemistry and physics. Biology was not a good one for me. That was really hard.
Oh, that's interesting because it's usually physics is the one that kills us.
And then
all.
I was economics for a minute, and then I ended up in political science. Anyway, that was very boring. But all to say that you can always change your mind, and intuitive thought is often about what's the best decision for you. And there are some tools that you can use to get to that. The other thing that I had for us to chat about, oh my God, is about the fact that we are on YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
It's so fun to be on YouTube.
I'm really concerned about this video because I've been just wrangling this dog the whole time and not looking very pretty.
First of all, you're always slaying everywhere you go. Second of all, having the dog here, he almost just sat up and talked into the microphone, which was amazing. True. So he's really doing us a huge solid. But one of the things that's great about being on YouTube is that you can subscribe to us there, and you should. Aww. So we need you guys, our awesome listeners, to review us, to rate us, and to subscribe to us on iTunes and on YouTube. It would really help us out. That would be the most amazing gift that you can give to us.
Mm-hmm. And let us know, this poor dog,
we're almost done.
I'm putting him through it.
We are almost done.
Let us know if you want more OuiBey.
Oh my God, please let us know how OuiBey flies with you guys.
He's panting.
Oh.
We're going to get you some water, Weebs. We're going to get you some water.
Anyway, that is about it for our show for this week. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I don't think so.
Awesome. We're sending love and light to all of our listeners, and we want you to
stay vigilant.